to disarm themselves. And it seems to us that as much as the agreement says very clearly that Hamas will not have a role in the future of Gaza, because currently we are speaking about second phase. First phase, we spoke. Second phase is the stabilizing of Gaza until the Palestinian Authority will go into such a reform that will take 2 or 3 years that will let it go back to Gaza. So basically, to make it clear, we are talking about 3 phases. Phase 1 was Israel redeployment and release of living hostages and bodies of hostages. This is phase 1, with the release of the last 13 bodies, hopefully soon, will be over. Then we are facing phase 2, in which Israel will need to pull back to the international border, short of what is known as the perimeter, which is like 1 kilometer from the border and here 2 kilometers, against Hamas disarming himself and the IFSF, International Stabilizing Force, taking over instead of the Hamas. And the third stage will be within 2 or 3 years, once the Palestinian Authority will be strong enough and will go through reform. They are about to take over and hopefully establish their own state in the future once they are ready to do it. So we are now between the first phase and the second phase. The second phase is extremely challenging because, to the best of our judgment, Hamas is not willing to disarm itself. And if Hamas will not disarm themselves, Israel will not pull back to the international border, short of the perimeter. That's, for us, this is one of the most important parts of the agreement, of the deal, of the 20 points agreement. To the best of our judgment, and you saw the films, Hamas is adamant to control the Gaza Strip even in what we call the day after. They are not going to lay down their weapon. President Trump said already, if Hamas is not going to lay down the weapon, it's going to be very bad. He has a very blunt language. For us, it's a precondition to continue. Without it, there will not be any, the second phase will not be completed unless they will disarm themselves. Disarming themselves, it's not an easy process. They can either give the weapon to the Palestinian Authority or the weapon can be destroyed. We do not need this weapon. There are all kinds of ways to do it. The IRA in Ireland, the Irish underground in Ireland 20 years ago in 2005, following the Good Friday Agreement, they disarmed themselves completely. They gave all the weapons to the British government after many years of conflict. That can happen here. But in order for it to happen here, the international community, including Ghana, has to put pressure on Hamas. What can Ghana do now in order to support? You know, Ghana is already active in the Middle East. As you know, you have your own force in Lebanon, in the south of Lebanon. As you know, UNIFIL is deployed here. So Ghana is already in the picture. We say that Ghana has also a very strong voice in Africa. Ghana is not just another state. It's not just another one of the 54 states in the AU. It has a very strong voice. And I think Ghana, and by this I will sum it up and will open it to questions, needs to sound a very clear voice, obviously in support of the agreement, but this is easy, but also calling the Hamas to disarm themselves and to respect their commitment. Hamas should not be a part of the future of Gaza. Israel will not let it happen, and the agreement doesn't let it happen. So as much as Ghana criticized Israel so far strongly, we expect now Ghana, that has a very strong voice in Africa, to use its own voice through ECOWAS, through the AU, and add its voice to the Arab states and all the European states and the United States that are calling the Hamas, enough is enough. The future of the Palestinian people is more important than the future of Hamas. You committed yourself to disarm yourself, that's it, respect it. Just as the IRA did in Ireland 20 years ago. Without it, there will not be peace in this area of Gaza. And we do expect and hope that Ghana, as a peace-loving state, as a state that respects democracy and stability, will sound a very clear call to the Hamas to disarm themselves and to respect the agreement that they signed. They should not have a role in the future of Gaza. The future of Gaza should be, in the long run, in the hand of innocent Palestinians that would like to live next to Israel and not instead of Israel.